Hey guys, it's Grable12 here, and kind of can't see my face yet. I'm doing that on purpose. So for the whole video, we're gonna talk about paintball terminology. Kind of screwed up the last one, so I'm gonna do this one. So we're gonna talk about boring. Boring. How to explain this? Boring is you have 68 caliber, and then you have 43 and 50. Now, when you bore a paintball, boring is the step down, like the second version of the caliber. So this is a 68 caliber freak insert at a .691 bore. What that means is that here, let me see if you can see. See how big that boring, like how big that hole is, and then you see it's kind of, you can see how it's a little smaller. That's because 68 caliber, but the paint size, like the width and length of the ball is a little bit smaller than a 691 bore, and so it's still 68. Sorry, it's still 68 caliber, just a smaller size 68 caliber ball, or a bigger size 68 caliber ball. And that's pretty much how that works. Another thing is ASA. What does ASA stand for? From my knowledge, ASA stands for Air Source Adapter. Another thing would be dwell. What I think dwell is how many milliseconds your solenoid is opened for the airflow to come in. That could be wrong. I'm not really sure if that's right or not. Correct me if I'm wrong. Flame me if you want. I really don't give a shit. What else is there? The different type of feed necks. So pretty much the three type of feed necks you have there: stovepipe, Q-lock, and lever lock. And a stovepipe is no way of there's a couple of different types of stovepipes. There's a stovepipes you got on a spider. We're gonna get this plastic piece of shit adapter that breaks all the time, and that's where Spider gets most of their money, is from making these kids, like, they don't know what they're buying. Like, they see a Spider, oh, that's a really good deal, $60, let me buy that. And then they get in the box and they figure out they gotta put this piece of fuck on there to make it work. Then they get, it's like, okay, here's a good deal, and bend over. Well, when they get the box, just like, okay, bend over. Yeah. So that's what I think Spider does, or came in. They say bend over once you get a product out of the box. I don't like that at all. Anyway, then you have stovepipes that you get on Spider clones, which are like the stovepipes, but then they have this bigger rim. They're high rise and they have a big rim around them that can only fit shake and shoot loaders or V-loader revolutions, the old Revies, because they use a V-loader type feed neck, because pretty much a Revy is a electronical eye operated VL200 in a sense. And then you have the Q-lock, which I believe it's a feed neck that has, well, on the Vibes and the SP1s, I don't have a Vibe or an SP1 anymore. Well, I never had an SP1, but I don't have a Vibe anymore. I have an Invert Mini, which I'll get to that when I talk about lever locks. But on this specific gun, the Vibe and the SP1, it's kind of like a stovepipe, but then it's a better type of stovepipe, and they have two little hex nut screws. The tighten, one is to keep the feed neck on the bottom, and one's to tighten it up So it's kind of like basic terminology. It's kind of like a if you're gonna kind of like a clamp. The more you tighten it, the closer it's gonna get, and that's kind of how it works with the Q locks. And those are very good working V-necks. It's just that it's a pain in the ass to open it and close it all the time. If you have an expensive loader, you want it to be tight, and you don't want your hopper falling off in the middle of the game. Especially if you're playing speedball and you're running around like an idiot, diving on the floor and stuff. Another and the lever locks. You'll see on the Invert Mini, the E-Techs, the Egos. I actually think a G6R has a Q lock. So if you go look at that, I think that has a Q lock. Most all the Planet Eclipse guns have lever locks. All the key action guns have lever locks. I mean, even the Piranha GTI Plus Rampage, even the Piranha GTI Plus, the Empire, or again Extreme Rage ER3, they have the same lever lock clumpy V-neck that's on the Invert Mini and on the X, which is pretty cool that they put those on there. Most likely because Extreme Rage is now owned by Key Action. Key Action pretty much. I like Key Action. It's just that they bought a lot of the companies that were bad companies, and now I think they're doing a good job with these shit companies. You know. But they really said bend over when they meant bend over, they really meant bend over to those companies. They really screwed them over, and they bought them out. So I mean, it's good that there's a good company owning them now. But I mean, I'm happy. I don't know what you guys think that Extreme Rage is owned by Empire now, but that's not the point. Oh, my face is there. There we go. But anyway, we talked about Dwell. We were talking about V-necks. Talking about ASAs. For you guys that don't know the difference between a gas through grip, a regulator, and a expansion chamber, let's start with gas through grip. Pretty much what gas through grip is, the gas runs through the grip. It's connected to a fitting, and the gas just goes up through the grip. Now, expansion chambers like that, but it has vents in there. It has a couple different vents depending on as maybe one vent or two vents or three vents depending on the type of expansion chamber and how good it is. And if you're using CO2, this is very good because it vents out all that bad shit. And inside inside that CO2, if you get liquid CO2, it's good. It helps with that. And then a regulator actually has parts in there that they have. It's kind of like it narrows down the pressure pretty much. It narrows down the pressure, and it's a lot better on the gun. It's not like you're having so much. You have a lot less pressure going into the gun, which makes it easier for the parts to maneuver. So if you take like a 98 custom, I bet you that if you put a regulator on a 98 custom, it's going to shoot better. It's going to be more consistent on the chronograph. You're probably going to get better efficiency because it's not running on that 750 psi or 800 psi that's going in through that line. It's going into a regulator narrowed down to about 200 psi, and it's going to go into the gun. And I really like that, how the regulators work. What else? What else is on a gun? Oh, LPRs. Same concept, just it runs at even a lower pressure. What else? I don't know. Bolt stick. Yes. It's when your O-rings wear out. Like what happens is that your O-rings are on a perfect smooth surface, and it rubs up against the metal, and then it gets stuck in those metal ridges, and there's some companies that make very good guns that come with anti-bolt stick, and then you have the really bad companies, like my favorite company, Smart Parts, that doesn't put anti-bolt stick technology or software in their guns. Uh, that's why everybody loves Smart Parts so much, and that's why they went out of business. Because they did such a great job designing their shockers, with those, again, stovepipe V-necks that you couldn't use for shit. Those Smart Parts is a bad company. I'll get on that later on another video. But I could be wrong on Bolt Stick just as well as Dwell. You know, uh, what else is there? If there's anything you guys want to know, like feet per second, if you don't know what that is, because I'm sure a lot of you know, just put it in the comments. What is what, and if I can answer it, then I'll answer it. If I can't, then I'll tell you I can't answer it, and you can go. There's a really nice guy. His name is Mike, and he's from TechPB, and he'll gladly answer your question if I don't know what it is. And thanks guys. Comment, rate, subscribe if you want. I really don't care.